Okay, hi everyone. This is Nelson Kwaja here with you. I'm recording this on my YouTube channel or my Facebook page. Primarily, I just want to talk about my podcast setup. So, over the last 1 month, I've started a podcast. It's called About Nothing. So far, we have recorded 6 episodes. 3 of them have gone online. One with AK Dance, South Sudanese comedian. Actually, had a lot of views. I think hitting slightly more than 5,000 right now. One with a friend of mine who's also a content creator. Her name is Charity Naji. It was just fun us talking. And the last episode that went up is with Ade The Truth, who is a South Sudanese rapper. I named the podcast as I forgot one already. The first one, which is now I'm mentioning it's number 4, is with Sam Rulepai, a good friend of mine, a radio presenter in Daraz. So I started this podcast almost like a joke. Called it About Nothing, and the idea was that like we're poking fun, saying this podcast is about nothing. It doesn't have any agenda in what. But one thing that I realized is that over time the podcast caught a lot of traction, and so many people are kind of watching it. And producing a podcast is a simple but also a bit of a complicated thing. So if you're doing just sound, it's kind of like easy, but still you have to do mixing and what. But for me, I'm doing sound and video. So from the start, I wanted that because I know in South Sudan, the audience are very visual. So, and we it's kind of like shooting it we are mostly having audience through Facebook. So I decided to change my setup because I realized people are taking the podcast seriously. Then I also need to take it seriously. So I've been recording primarily from our office because we have a podcast studio there. But I realized with the pandemic, I might want to do some things remote. So I decided to build my podcast setup. Just like say like, you know what, I want to do it and listen. The other reason why I decided to put on my own equipment for the podcast is that I realized like doing a podcast, you have to, unless you're earning money and hiring people to do the production for yourself, more often than not, you have to do a lot of the work yourself. So that to make it easy, you don't want to rely on the generosity of people. Hey, have you finished? What is next? So I wanted to push a lot of the tech, a lot of the production to me. If I can do a DIY one-man setup, that will be good. So I decided to get my own equipment. I said I want to shoot the videos myself. Like this is what I'm doing now. I'm actually shooting this video myself. Basically, I have the camera on a tripod in my face, and then in front of the camera, the camera screen is actually facing me so I can see myself live. But also the other thing which is there is I am controlling the camera from my phone, as you can see here. So I'm just kind of remotely connecting it to my phone, and I can put the recording on and off from my phone so that I kind of get a view. But also the phone has a live view screen of the camera. So using Canon Connect, you can just connect your camera and actually do live, go record and stop from here. So I just want to talk about what setup did I buy. So for me, this might be an overkill for some of you, or it might be like amateur stuff, depending on how sophisticated you are in your production. So the first thing that I got is the audio equipment, because once you realize you want to do podcasts, if you have 1 or 2 people kind of you're hosting, you need to get good audio and like you need multiple mics. So I got an audio device, which is the Zoom H8. It's from Zoom, the company that manufactures this. They have several products on their lineup, but this is called the Zoom H8. They have the H6 or whatever, so many of them. What I liked about this, why I went for it, is a few things. First of all, it has a set of 4 batteries. I'll just show you that. So it has a set of 4 batteries. That means it's portable and it can record remotely without the need for any power or any direct power, stuff like that. It has 8 ports, so that means I can have 8 mics connected, and 2 of the mics are actually mounted here. That means I can speak directly into it without any external mic, and it can record. So if you're doing interview with someone one-on-one, you can do that. And as you can see right now, if you look at the screen, you can see it is, like right now as I speak, it's actually, you can see the sound vibration on that, because it is actually recording me right now. But then apart from that, I can put in 6 input. I can put in 6 more inputs on top of these 2. And these 6 inputs can actually be, yes, mics. I'll show you a sample of a mic right now. But it can also be at times you're doing your podcast and you want to capture ambience from the background and all, you can do that. But you can also plug it into your phone, you can plug music from your computer and stuff like that. And this thing, sorry, I might be underselling this thing. Like, it does probably more wondrous stuff. I just got it today, so I don't know much about it. But like, it's a powerhouse. So you can basically do with it a lot of stuff. So that's the main thing that I'm going to be using for my podcast, especially for my remotes. The second thing that you want for this, since this uses battery, it has 4 batteries. So what I bought also, I bought the Panasonic BQ-C17 Advanced whatever. So this is a rechargeable battery set together with the charger. So what you can do is this, you can actually charge these batteries. Ideally, what you will want, once you buy this, you want to buy another set of rechargeable batteries. Because if you're doing remote work, you always want, especially for your batteries, you want a set of 2. So with this one, I can charge all my batteries and I can have them here. You don't want to buy batteries that are kind of one-time use. You'll be needing a lot of it. So I have these 2 kind of set up. The next thing that I got is a camera. So I told you it's a podcast. So I got a camera. I had to ask the people who sell the camera about what kind of stuff they do. So I bought the Canon 250D. I am very ignorant about cameras. So I had to ask the people who sell the cameras about what kind of things. But I understand they told me this is an entry professional level. So there is another one, which is the 200D, which is the entry. And this is this entry semi-professional level. So as you can see, my face here. So right now it's doing autofocus. That means it's adjusting. Like when I come closer, it's a bit blurry, then you readjust. I go further, it does that. So it's very good for beginners. You don't have to do a lot of things. This camera has an audio input, so I'm actually recording from my mic right now connected to it. It can do photos. This is the lens that came with it. Sorry, I'm really underselling cameras also again, but this is the good stuff if you want to start. So you just put it on a thing and then it goes. The other thing that I got with the camera is a tripod. This is a tripod bag. Sorry, I can't show you the tripod because I'm recording with it right now. But it's a very decent starter tripod. You will need a tripod, especially if you're doing stuff. You'll need a tripod, especially if you're doing something alone. So like just mount the camera on a tripod and it's just there. The other thing that I got is a table tripod here. And it can also be used for a phone. So this is a very handy device, readjustable, very... So it's just a plug and play tripod. So in case if you're recording and you can, from a short distance, you can just place it on top of a table. But also the good thing with this, it also you can use it with phone. So you can put your phone on it. Like right now you can see my phone on that, and I can use my phone with that tripod. The other good use for it is actually when you're hand holding the camera and you want to steady your camera and kind of move it to a different location, you can actually mount it on this tripod and then hold it here and then that. In other locations, you can just place the legs and have it kind of run on that. Early on, I was talking about batteries, very, very important. So here I have the kind of original charger with the battery set that came with the camera. I bought a second one. So in case this one takes me for like an hour or so, it goes off. I have the secondary battery. This is not original, but it's a very good alternative. So once my original battery is off, at times you can plug this in and then like later on substitute it. The other thing that I have here is a mic. So I have this Boya mic, microphone. It is not wireless, but it's a very good alternative. It comes with a cable that is almost 6 meters. So if you're doing a podcast setup, that is fine. So you can just plug it into the Zoom. The Zoom is pretty much portable, so I can plug my mic into it, and I have 2 of them. So I can just place this behind the couch and then have the audio, the mic tap there, and then it can just be recording from the background. That means I'm getting the audio differently from the video, and then you can later on synchronize it together. So that means the video will be just doing it separately, and then you're doing the audio. And I think synchronizing it should be a very pretty kind of easy job. Yeah, so those are kind of stuff. So I have the Zoom for the recording device. I have my mics. I have my tripod. I have the camera. and I have the set of the batteries. So after I have those things, the other thing which is important is a bag. So this is actually not an original bag for a camera setup, but there is one that is actually very good. But this one is just my decent laptop bag, so I use it to put all my equipment. You need this in case you want to record and move around and like record everything seriously. You need this stuff so that you can place all your equipment here, dash to where you are, and then like record your stuff. I didn't mention this. This is a cable. Early on you saw the Zoom, I told you about it, plugging music from your laptop. So this cable can actually allow you, it has one part jack and the other side a male audio input. So you can plug it into the Zoom and into your laptop and then play music directly into the Zoom recorder while you're talking. That is kind of like primarily like the setup that I have right now. I have my laptop and the software in it. That's the kind of the addition to the setup that makes it good for me to record stuff. But apart from that, that's pretty much it. There are a few things that I still will want to get when I get more money, is to have another camera, probably like a smaller camera, but more into action, so that in case I want to capture different setup, or I want to have a 2-camera setup or a 3-camera setup, I can kind of get that. The other thing is lights. As you can see, I'm recording right now. This is just the sitting room light. I mean, it's not bad. You can see me, but I can still see the shadows on my face. So you will want to have 2 sets of video lights that can kind of like light up the room. Yeah, probably like that. Another thing that I would want to get, I would want to get wireless mics, because with the wireless mics you can do a lot. You can just plug them into the Zoom, you can plug the receiver into the Zoom, and then you have just your 2 wireless mics. Your guests can see it wherever they are. But also if you're doing live, if you're doing like live, if you're recording while you're walking around, you wouldn't want this. This can't work. So probably you just want a wireless mic. Someone is recording, cutting things, moving around and stuff like that. Yeah, that's pretty much. I don't know to what extent that will impact this all change of the setup will impact my podcast output, but who knows? I mean, I want to give it a try and see how that works. Just to recap again, I have the Zoom, I have the batteries set up for it, I have the camera, I have the batteries and the charger set up for it, I have the mic, 2 setup of it, I have my tripod, I have my bag, and I have my cables for plugging in different other inputs. Yeah, so that is it, guys. This video is way longer, probably like the pro people. This is probably a 2 minutes video, but I dragged it into 10 minutes because that I'm just starting. I hope in the future I can kind of make these things shorter and more professional. So yeah, watch out for the next episode and see how this might turn out. And now I can stop the recording from